as we think about all this ESG nonsense, the beneficiaries of this, this is what true market capitalism is all about. And Dallas, Texas looks ready to receive the benefit. Dallas, Texas has plans, ladies and gentlemen, to take over as the financial capital of the world, basically taking the big spot from none other than New York City. New York City, the famed financial capital of the world, is actually about to see a challenge. The NASDAQ, the NYSE, they're all there. And by the way, most companies are headquartered out of Delaware, believe it or not. So Delaware, East Coast stuff. But the New York Stock Exchange is going to have some competition on its heels from none other than TXSE, which plans to take on these two other exchanges. But here's the other interesting wrinkle. You have Delaware, the state of Delaware, which has always been the court of record for every single big business in the United States of America. They're all incorporated in Delaware. I mean, even my little Trish Regan show is incorporated in Delaware. I'm going to have to take a look at that because there's a new player in town, and that would be Texas. Texas is making a direct run at all those corporations saying, hey, you know what? You can actually incorporate here. So going back many years, Delaware has sort of a special court system set up for businesses and is typically pretty favorable to businesses. Well, that was all just thrown into disarray recently by the guy that the government loves to hate, Elon Musk. So Elon had a deal in place with shareholders in which he would get compensated $40 million. Billion. What am I saying? Mixing up my M's and B's. I sound like Joe Biden. Anyway, oh gosh, better take that balance of nature. Anyway, Elon Musk is like, wait a second, I have this deal. I signed this deal with shareholders. We had an agreement. I was going to get paid the $40 billion, provided I met certain metrics. I met the metrics. So I should get the $40 billion. And you know what? The shareholders signed off on this twice. The board of directors presented it. It was voted on. Everybody agreed he was going to get this money. He didn't even take a salary, remember? He was going to get the money if he met the metrics. He met the metrics. And now, what do you know? Lo and behold, you got a class action lawsuit. No, it's outrageous. Nobody should make $40 billion, say the lawyers, representing one little shareholder who had like 8 shares. So that whole thing goes to court in Delaware. And Delaware's like, well, yeah. You know what? Nobody should make $40 billion. Elon's like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm out of here, baby. I mean, the lawyers actually tried to say they should be compensated $10 billion for this. That's the irony. They're not creating any wealth or any value of any kind. The guy who created the company, he's not allowed to get 40, but somehow the lawyers who bring the lawsuit should be able to get 10. I hope to goodness that the Delaware court does not actually go for that crazy idea, but they went for this. They said, okay, Elon, you're not going to get this. And he's like, I'm moving to Texas, baby. I mean, he already moved, right? But now he's moving the corporate headquarters from Delaware, East Coast, to Texas, the South. So between the TXSE and the bid for the actual incorporation of companies there, I'm thinking that Texas indeed might have a shot at becoming the financial capital of the world. Elon is reincorporating, ladies and gentlemen, in the Lone State. This is something that we're actually talking about in today's edition of the 76 Report show. Myself and my colleague, Rob Horton, at 76research.com, we co-founded this company together in an effort to kind of help combat the woke investing that you got out there, and there's plenty of it out there, and to kind of think about things more logically, to be able to cut through the noise. And there's so much noise, ESG and DEI, like how can anybody make a profit anymore? Anyway, we get into all of it, and we talk a little bit about our model portfolios, which have just seen enormous success. We also talk about NVIDIA and whether or not you should be buying or selling or holding NVIDIA right now, whether or not there's still opportunity in this tech cycle with AI. I mean, it's obviously run up so significantly. So what do you do? How do you think about it? What are the risks? We get into the risks, we get into the positives in a pretty specific way. So an hour-long program that we just did live today, I encourage you to go to 76research.com, look at signing up for the 76 Report or the model portfolio portfolios, 10 to 15 stocks in each of those model portfolios. We make changes, but we make changes only when we really feel like it's important. In other words, you've made enough money on a particular stock, or we just think that, you know what, it's game over. We don't really tend to think it's game over for any of the companies that we like, for obvious reasons. In other words, we're long-term investors. But there was an example of a company just the other day. Rob and I talk about it on the 76 Research Show. You can go to YouTube at 76 Research and follow the channel there, so you'll get a lot of information, or you can go to 76research.com. If nothing else, sign up for the free stuff. But we talked about this transition we made because it was a natural resources company, which just was sky high. I mean, it became a larger percentage portfolio of the model portfolio than we would have liked. So in that case, we encourage people to take a little bit of that profit and diversify it into a new opportunity. You can find out exactly what those opportunities are if you get the income builder portfolio. So take a look at that. We also have inflation protection. We have American ingenuity. So there's resilience, American resilience that's really growth oriented. And we do talk about NVIDIA, et cetera. So take a look at that.